All right, Junkie Nation, we've delivered another MMA superstar for you. This time it's UFC flyweight champion Valentina Shevchenko joining us here on the hotline. What's up, Valentina? How are you?
Doing good, feeling great, amazing.
You just had a nice vacation. You feeling energetic and relaxed?
It's like from one point it was not kind of like vacation because I would say it's more my lifestyle, traveling, training during the travel, and more it was like my recovery after the surgery. That's why it was like it was, I think, necessary to have this kind of time, being unite with the nature, traveling and discovering some beautiful places. We travel like different states along the Pacific coast, and it's a very beautiful travel. And I definitely feel like recharging and ready for another training camp, another preparation for the fight.
Did you guys know each day? Did you already have it mapped out what you wanted to do, or did you just drive and take the vacation or the trip day by day?
It was like kind of rough idea what we want to do and where we're gonna go, but definitely it's every day was something new, and it's like more because like we had to find out first where we're gonna stay for the night and see if there is like hotel at that place, because we drew by uh, from California to like Oregon and Washington. We drew on Highway 1, and it's like the most gorgeous way for to the Pacific coast. And there was some like little towns, very small one, even like no hotels there, difficult to find to stay. And it was like the most challenging. That was definitely we didn't know where we're gonna stay next night, but I would say it's like so different. The type of nature was there. It's like oceans there. It's severe. It's cold. It's it's very strong, very hard, and there is like nature there. The weather, it's not that sunny how, for example, right now in Las Vegas you have 24 hours like sunny beautiful weather, but there it's like more cloudy, more foggy. And this is what they have like during all the year. They don't have actually like summertime, but from other side it was so beautiful, that type of the weather and nature. And being there, it was feeling like a whole world, it has the same weather. There is no sun anywhere. There is like everywhere this winter cold weather. And but I enjoy a lot because I truly see the wild west how it was from the very, I assume it was almost the same, because I could see the towns that pretty like unique in the same type what they were like when it was discovered.
It was very fascinating to follow you on your social media on Instagram. I'm a follower on Twitter, but on Instagram, at Bullet Valentina. Follow it, folks. One of your stops was you visited the gravesite of Bruce Lee. Can you talk about that? That seemed to be something that was part of the one of the goals, one of the main goals, one of the main attractions of your vacation, of your adventure.
Yes, when we were in Portland, and we thought that it's gonna be like driving to Portland and then go back to Las Vegas. But once we were Portland, it's like 3 hours drive to Seattle. So definitely we said we have to go there and see Seattle. And once we are in Seattle, definitely we had to go there to the grave of Bruce Lee, and like just to spend time there, because I think it's like Bruce Lee, he's a like legend. He's like for the martial arts, he's like no one did everything for martial arts. And when we were in San Francisco, not this time but last time, we were traveling like by the streets where he was. We found the street where it was the gym where he trained, but of course there is no gym anymore at that place. But Chinatown, everywhere, we were walking there now in Seattle. And like, I would like to have another time doing in Hong Kong the same trip, and like just to walk on the same places where Bruce Lee was like spending his lifetime.
There's no doubt that I'm sure you'll make it there one day because I'm sure you've been through a lot of passports already. You definitely are a world traveler, so I'm sure you will meet that goal one day. So, Valentina, now tell us, aside from what you've already told us, if somebody were to want to visit Oregon or Northern California, Northern Nevada, is there something that you feel like you would tell somebody, hey, you got to go to this one spot, or two, or something that was unique, a bridge, a lake, some sort of a monument? Is there anything out there that you really enjoyed visiting?
I would say one of my favorite cities on our trip. It was Astoria. Definitely, it's a very beautiful beautiful city, very fisherman village. It's Newport, definitely. And if we are speaking about Washington, like the islands over there, it's Anacortes. It's just a few of my favorite places, but I would go back there and spend more time discovering. Because, for example, when we were in Seattle, I was like, okay, in Seattle we're gonna spend a few days and then started to drive back to Las Vegas. But it's impossible just to stay a few days there, because so many islands, so many beautiful like destination over there, and we spent there almost 2 weeks discovering, driving from one city to other city. Never spend it like 2 days in one place. It's every time was changing the location to see more and more, and it's never enough, never enough. And I would like to go back there, probably, I don't know, maybe sometime next year, summertime, and do the same discovering trip, but this time not by the car, but probably by the boat.
Oh, wow. Okay, that would be interesting. Um, Chandelier Tree was pretty cool. Like I say, you had a lot of unique stops, but when I looked at it, I was like, whoa. But you said you didn't drive the truck through, right? You just walked?
No, yes, it's like it was, I was approaching to the tree, and I was like with a lot of confidence to go through it. But once I was closer, so many doubts went to my head, and I was like, oh, it's not gonna be good if I will stuck in the middle of the tree without like opportunities to go back and forward. So I just decided not to risk, because we had in like so much of the trip in front of us. So yeah, it was just by walk, but I did it for like 3 4 times, just in case, to make sure I did it right.
Very interesting. Now, while you were gone, I guess let's talk about your career a little bit. When we talked to you early when the COVID-19 pandemic started, you were rehabbing your knee and you thought that maybe by August you might be able to defend your title. It looked like that's what was going to happen versus Joanne Calderwood. Then one day I go on MMA Junkie and I see that she's taken another fight. So obviously we knew she was gonna, she was ready to compete, but you weren't. Did you have a setback, or you just weren't ready? Was there any explanation for why you decided to push it back to November?
It's like you never can expect how your body will react after the surgery. And more, I can tell that yeah, it's my first surgery I never had before, and definitely I would not risk something that important for me as my belt, right? And it's all about my recuperation. So if I will, and definitely I will, when I will be back to the octagon, I will feel my body like 100%, definitely. And I would not do something like what can cause any major risk for like major injury or something like that. Yes, we like, me, my coach, we just saw how my body react, how's the recuperation go, how my ligament feels strong enough, or what is it. And we just decide to take a little bit extra time for the recovery to make sure that everything right, because definitely I will go to back to the octagon and show everything that I have, like 100%. I'm not a person. I'm not the one who will like, okay, I want to rush myself and do whatever, but just for because people waiting me or they are like behind me. No, I know that if I will go there, I have to do like the best. If I'm not ready to do my the best, I have to wait.
Understood. Yeah, in and obvious and actually, uh, on your vacation, it looked like you guys still were doing the workouts. So Coach Pavel, he knows when to separate vacation and leisure time, and you still get your guys' workouts in. It was unique because sometimes they were on the beach, sometimes they were just on a road, in the middle of nowhere. Very interesting, but I imagine that those weren't at high intensity. I guess, right?
How I saying, it's like it's not the or like vacation, right? It's lifestyle, my lifestyle. It's travel, vacation, not vacation, travel, training, and recovery. So I could not on that time I could not push my body to force like to do something that it's not ready yet. That's why we started slowly. We started with the recuperation, like step by step, without rushing it. And before we went to the travel, I had a lot of like coming into the UCPI and working on my physical therapy with Heather, with Bo. They are like amazing doing. They created like specific program for my legs, for my knee to get strength back. And so we are was working on it. Once we were in travel, we still were like in contact with them, with Heather, with Bo. So they was keeping sending me the exercise what I have to do. Plus we were working like with Antonina, we were working with Pavel, with a lot of like pads and something like that. But once more, I could not do more than my body permitted on that time. And it was like enough timing and like perfect timing for the recovery and like getting back into the shape. Once we were like done with the travel and get back to Las Vegas, and then for example, right now I almost training like back 100%. So it's like it's still step by step, without pushing me, without rushing me, and feel and hear what my body is saying. And I'm pretty close to like for the like starting the training camp, pretty close to that shape. So we are like moving toward that direction.
Valentina, I've heard from some fighters before say, and I'll point one out, Nick Diaz. He used to say, "I love martial arts, but I don't love fighting. I don't love that part of it. I do it because I make money." With you, I see such a love for martial arts, and you've done so many of them. You've done them all over the world. Is the love for martial arts the same as the love for fighting for you?
For me, this is the same. There is no martial arts for me without fighting. And I can understand exactly what he means. What he means, it's like you can hear a lot from the people. They're saying, oh, I like have so fun, I like enjoy it. And but you like think about it, how you can have a lot of fun when someone hitting you to the face. Is it that fun, right? Is it fun? And I would assume that when Nick Diaz told it, he meant exactly the same thing. Of course, it's part of our job because, like, we are martial artists, all of us, and we love martial art. It's part of our thing, and we are not doing like just jujitsu. We are not doing just like some non-contact martial arts, right? We do the most contact martial arts that ever have, we are doing mixed martial arts. That's why it's part of us, and we are every day we are doing the same training to keep to have like our selves better as a fighter, better technique, better something. But um, it's hard. I would say, training camp when you're preparing for the fight, it's so hard. It's like not just physically you have to be concentrated every day. The most important it's mentally. When you come into the training, you just cannot um, just come to the gym and be unprepared, be someone somewhere else with your mind. You have to focus on the training. You have to focus on pushing yourself like forward every single minute, and it's hard. It's very hard. It's not the easy way. It's definitely not easy way, but the love to martial arts, this is what like pushing us to do it. And for me it's both together. It's like it's unique thing, fighting and do your trainings and feel this adrenaline when you're inside the octagon, feel your hands raised up, like feel this like amazing feeling after the victory. It's like, it's like flying over the world, and it's amazing. If we separate all of this by pieces, it's not that beautiful, but when you put it all together, this is what we call martial arts. This is one beautiful spirit of everything. You cannot just like say, I like this, I don't like that, because it's all one, it's all unique.
Visiting the grave of Bruce Lee, the one thing that I would be thinking about while I'm there is just the legacy that he left behind into the world and how many people he influenced. Have you thought about your legacy in the sport, and how close are you to maybe getting to that point where you're very happy with what you've accomplished and what you're going to leave behind for everyone else? Are you already there, or do you still feel like you have a couple more things that you want to do before you can have that feeling?
I would say before we are like alive, before we are breathing, it's never will be enough. It's never like this happy feeling, okay, I did everything that I had to do and it's enough. It's every time gonna be something else. It's every time you will feel you have to do something more. You have to maybe not in the fighting, maybe something else, transform your energy in something else, but it's every time will be something. It's never gonna stop. And this is the beauty, this is the like amazing thing about our lives, that every time something keep pushing us forward to do something else. And I'm very happy that I still feel this feeling, and I'm not the one, not the person who like, okay, I did enough in my life, now I can enjoy. No. And I'm very happy that something is still pushing me forward, and this is the taste of life. And I would say I don't want to lose this feeling anymore. I want every time to feel that I have to do something more.
I was thinking about, as I was watching the Jennifer Maia and Joanne Calderwood fight, uh, the winner is going to fight Valentina, but you're such an active fighter, and you've fought so much and you stay so active that when you see that matchup go away, Joanne Calderwood, do you feel like because you fight so often, you'll eventually fight her anyway? Like, do you feel like that fight went away, or do you feel like eventually you're probably going to end up fighting her anyway at some point?
It's difficult to say at at this moment, because we could see so many changes, like it's changing so fast. We can see some new faces coming in. We can see some like different girls, they're like more talented, and they're coming to the her spot probably. That's why I don't know. I cannot say something that it's gonna happen anyway. Probably yes, but probably no, who knows.
Valentina Shevchenko, former kickboxing champion, former Muay Thai champion, three title defenses of her UFC flyweight title. She's going to be defending on November 21st against Jennifer Maia, UFC 255. There's another title fight that day, also in the flyweight division. And in the past, Dana White has always said, well, usually the heavier weight is the main event. Sometimes he's broken away from that, but in this case, it's the same weight class. Who deserves to be the main event that night, Valentina? Have you heard anything about that?
No, I didn't heard yet, but it looks like we have some kind of tournament four, right? And the winner of their boys gonna fight each other, something like that sounds.
Well, I think you're the three-time defending champion. Perhaps this is one time where they would defer to the ladies. I'm not sure that they've done this too often, but Davis and Figueiredo just acquired the belt. Cody Garbrandt is also a former champion, but he's dipping down now to flyweight. But I'm wondering if you guys might get the main event that night. And here's another thing. I don't know if you know this. You're minus 1,200. You're a big favorite that night. The odds makers already put up the odds for your fight. You're minus 1,200. That's as big as it gets.
Yeah, but I didn't hear it yet. And I never do. I never like focus on what is the bad hours, and I don't care it. And really, it doesn't matter for me. And it's the last things that I would consider during my training camp. The most important what I consider it prepare myself mentally, physically, whatever, right? And I know that Jennifer Maia, she will preparing in her best shape. For example, this fight, what we saw against Joan, what I could see in this fight, I cannot tell about Jojo something, but I felt she was not there, like mentally there. I mean, like it's sometimes it's happened. Sometimes it's something that you cannot prevent. You are doing like your training camp good, you're preparing good, cut weight good, but the time of the fight you're just not there, and you don't understand what happened, but you can tell in her eyes, you can tell in the speed of her reaction, and probably this is what the like the major factor why she lost her fight. But from other side, we could see Jennifer Maia. She focused with her eyes, like focused on the victory. She wanted it, and she was like training, I would assume, like so bad for this fight. And I expect she will do the same for the our fight, because I don't want anyone who would come into the octagon and not be ready for the fight. I don't need this kind of opponent. I need someone who will want to fight. That's why I will put my best to win this fight, and like to show my technique, my spirit, my like power, my everything. I need good opponent, and I hope she will do good in her training camp.
Yeah, to be clear, Jennifer Maia is a good opponent. She earned her spot by beating Joanne Calderwood, so she deserves to be a contender for your belt. But more than anything, I think these odds are the odds makers, the experts, the ones that watch a lot of film. It's their way of saying just how great you are as a champion, how dominant you are over your division, over opponents, your overall skill set versus her skill set. So it's not necessarily a disrespect. It's just what they anticipate that the public's going to do when they come to bet. They're all going to bet Valentina, so they got to make it difficult for them to bet Valentina. They got to question, do I want to bet 1,200 to win 100? Or would I rather bet 100 on Jennifer to win 160? They got to balance it, but that's it. Actually, it's just a compliment, really, more than anything from the odds makers. It's what they think of your overall skill set versus the other opponent.
For me, it means that I have to focus on my trainings more. For me, it means that I cannot just like think that okay, it's gonna be easy fight. No, for me, it means a lot of responsibility, and like to do everything that I have to do in the fight to win the fight. It's first of all, and show my how I mentioned before, my spirit, because I think in the fight it's the most important, and definitely to prepare for the fight with no injuries. This is the most important for me, and right now I like focus so much on like to start my training with no injuries, not repeat the same injury, and to protect my legs and to protect them from like unwanted force that could be during the training camp. This is for me what very important, and I know exactly if I will do and follow all this plan, I will do good. This is I know for sure, because like I'm not worried about mental part, because my team gonna help me a lot. Physical parts the same, and it's like it's not only my training camp. It's not just about myself. It's how my team do and put their energy for me, and I would appreciate it forever, because like it's for me definitely all this success what I'm having right now, it's my team, my coach, my family, my sister, like all people who are like surrounding me, and this is the most important to in his eyes, not to disappoint them. This is what is like my thoughts about my preparation and my fighting.
Two last things here. We really appreciate your time. I was scanning through your Instagram. Do you ever read the comments? There was one that was so funny. I think it was just you getting ready to train on the adventure trip. I won't call it a vacation anymore because it's part of your lifestyle. And then somebody wrote, "Could you imagine trying to sneak up behind her and I think take your wallet or something?" Next thing you know, you wind up in the ICU. I couldn't stop laughing because it's so true. Like, give me your wallet or something. The next thing you know, pop, 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 pop. Like in those action movies you're doing, it would probably be that type of a scene, but I was laughing at that. Do you ever scan and get a kick out of those comments?
Not often, not often, because yeah, sometimes when I have time, I could like read some of them, but usually it's like posting picture and do continue to do what I have to do, because like people they why they're following me, because they want me, they want to see me winning, right? To want to see my like best version of me in the fight inside of the octagon in UFC, and that's why I'm spending all my time better in the gym than like reading comments and like spend all my time inside of the social media. I do the necessary what I have to do, because for me it's like my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's like not just the form of posting something, right? As art person who like martial arts first of all, secondary my I finished University of Arts, and my profession is film director. I'm very artistic, and art is in my like inside of me. That's why I'm trying to create my Instagram page or social as a art. For me, every picture what I post in, it's not just a picture, it's special moment of my life, and it has to be beautiful, it has to be like given like some good feeling to the people who are looking at it, because for me it's like your life, it's a film, it's a movie, and you're creating it to live like some moments. Each picture is a moment that you are like living in the history of your life, right? And that's why I'm trying to make it beautiful as a movie, right? And that's why for me it's much more just like a social account. For me it's art piece.
Well, definitely you do a great job. You keep up with it. It's a great follow at Bullet Valentina. And we got another interview coming up soon. I know you know who, but I just want to say congratulations on your nomination for International Fighter of the Year and Female Fighter of the Year for the World MMA Awards. Hopefully you are able to win those. You have great statistics for 2019 and half of 2020. That's the body of work. That's the body of time, I guess, that they're using for that. I'm sure you knew you were nominated, right?
Yes, I do know.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations on that. And thanks as always for the time. It's great catching up with you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, George. Thank you. Bye, guys.